Welcome to Montreal Rocks. And I'm very happy to have with us one of the people behind the scenes at FME. Now, this is the Festival de Musique Émergente, or it's basically the emerging music festivals for all these bands that are basically maybe unknown today, but might be headliners tomorrow. And we have with us Marilyne Lacombe, one of the
Hi,
organizers of the event. Welcome to the show.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, this is the 21st edition.
Exactly. 21 year of discovering new music in the in up north Quebec and Rouyn-Noranda.
So obviously it's an interesting location. I will be going this year. I can't wait to go visit this little town. And from what I hear, the whole town turns into a festival. Like
Yeah,
there's parties in the street, there's like shows and alleyways. You never know what to expect when you go to these events.
yeah, that's exactly what FME is about. Like if you I think like there's like show all over the town, so it's like a really nice way to discover the city if you've never been. And yeah, like I think the whole town is really vibing to like the festival festivities. That's all about that, which is like make it so fun because like if you go to a festival like in Montreal or in a big city, there's like so much distraction, so much other things to do. But FME and Rouyn-Noranda, it's like it's what everyone is doing. It's what the town is about for 4 days. So there's no escape. You got to go and see the shows. Yeah, even if you try to escape, the FME will come to you. The show will come to you in the way that you're not expecting.
They don't have alarm clocks in the hotel room. The bands will come and play music to wake you up.
Yeah, it's almost that.
But what I like is exactly that. It's a almost a musical retreat. I mean, you go to this town and the whole purpose is to listen to music, to find out these new music. I'm personally going to enjoy kind of getting into my Quebec roots because there's a lot of French
Yeah.
francophone music, and I am half French, so this is something that I'm looking forward to, kind of getting to know maybe the bands I don't know as well as those will be performing English, but you really have a wide variety of styles. Is that not?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also like as you said, like we try to like keep a really good balance between French and Anglo music. So we're trying to like have like this like bridge between the Franco and the Anglo scenes, which is not something that you often see. I feel in Quebec, like I feel like it's either one or the other. So this is something that we work hard to mix up those two scenes and create like new links that would not existed like otherwise. And in terms of like artistic direction, it's super eclectic. So like the idea is like to try to represent as many music styles as possible. So there is something for everyone, I think.
And you kind of group them into showcases. So
Uh
multiple bands playing together on the same
oh
night.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like usually we'll have like two or three bands playing the same like venue the same night.
So let's talk about the importance of this festival first for the band. So what is a band or a singer songwriter? What do they get from going to the festival? What kind of exposure will they get?
So one thing that's very important about FME is that we host over like 100 to 150 delegates from mainly Europe, but also from the States. We have somebody from Mexico coming this year. So people that works in the music industry, a festival programmer, booker, journalist, everyone that's involved in the music industry, they come and they come to see and discover new bands that they will potentially work with. So it's like a huge opportunity for all these new bands to be discovered. And we have many like success story like that of like bands that like met like really important people in their career at FME. And so I think for that it's really important for the band, but at the same time it's not a music conference, so it's not like only for industry people, so you get the feeling of playing in front of a real audience. Because like if you go to those music conferences, sometimes it's like a bit like like bored industry delegate or not like the funnier people to have in the show. So mixing both world, I think it's like make it really fun for the band, and also it's like a really good opportunity for them. So I think like all of that makes like everyone they want to play FME.
And I guess as a music lover, going to a festival like FME will allow them to get exposed to potentially, really interesting bands that are curated and, the cream of the crop, so to speak. And that
Yeah,
are
exactly. For me, like one of my goals is almost that you look at the lineup and then you don't know any of the bands. Like the less you know, the better I did my job.
That's cool. So it really exposes us to new music, which is so important because uh, there is so much out there. But having a curated playlist by yours, well, by you basically, will allow us to really get to know these new bands and put them on our radar. Um, Now, I want to talk a little bit about what should we be looking forward to. What are you looking forward to seeing? Anybody that I should be paying attention to or making sure I do not miss while I'm visiting?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's always hard for me to tell because I would like to say everyone, but if
Yeah.
I pick a few projects, I'm really excited to have Tess Sparks at FME. It's an artist that I've been following for a few years. She's actually Canadian, but she has a bigger career in Europe. She's been discovered by Anton Newcomb from the Brian Johnson Massacre, so she's worked a lot with him. And consequently, she hasn't really played a lot of festival in Quebec or in Canada. I think it's one of the first one that she plays in Quebec, actually. She's gonna play with Carquois, where it's making like a big return in Quebec. They're like kind of, you know, like one of those like indie rock legends in Quebec. So I think this night's gonna be like really special. We also have Elisa P, who's gonna present for the first time her new show from her new album. She basically did cover songs from like really big band like think Metallica, Blondie, but she's doing them in the Inuktitut, which is like her native language. So I think this is going to be like a really special night as well. In terms of like new exciting bands, I think a lot of people are really excited to see La Sécurité, which is this new art punk band with like Laurent San, a member from Show Sauvage, and another band, and they've been like kind of popping out. They just released their first album a few weeks ago, so I think a lot of people are excited about that. We also have like a really big international delegation of bands coming from all over the world. We got Jonathan Bree coming from New Zealand, Muscovite Dance Band coming from Netherlands, Amar Ederate coming from Denmark. So it's really exciting to get all these people in Rouyn-Noranda because it's really not a typical stop in a tour for an international band. So we're really, really lucky to be able to present that in the context of like a festival in Rouyn-Noranda.
So this starts in a couple of days. It is the 31st of August, the 3rd of September. It's going to be basically a great time for all. I'm looking at it as a little mini musical adventure. I'm going to explore both the city and the music scene, and I look forward to it. Any tips on what to bring to this festival?
I would say bring like clothes for all possible weather, because like I've seen snow and 35 degrees in Rouyn-Noranda during that festival, so it's very unpredictable. So it's kind of like a very practical but very important tip. Like be ready for any weather, but otherwise, like, you know, just bring your adventurous spirit, and then, you know, like let you be surprised by what the festival is going to bring to you, and, you know, take some risks with some bands. And I think that's like the way to live through FME, is that.
So bring a full suitcase and an open mind.
Exactly.
Marilyne, merci beaucoup. C'était un plaisir de parler avec vous. On va se rencontrer bientôt dans quelques mois, j'espère.
Exactly.
And thank you so much. And we look forward to this festival, and we look forward to some coverage from Montreal Rocks of some of the exciting parts of this festival. Stay tuned for more.
Thank you. Bye.